Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show, hour number 2. Yay. Here on a Sunday morning in Las Vegas. We don't have any drain valve covers destroying F1 cars or anything like that. Just Danny Limelight wrecking the studio.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Everything I touch.
There you go.
It's all good. But yeah, we're having a great time here. Of course, want to thank Brittany Brooks for joining us. She's going to be the FSW show tonight at the Silver Nugget, as will Danny. So if you haven't got your tickets, well, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Being a bozo.
Exactly.
Yeah, get down there.
And of course, we're here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Also streaming live on that Odyssey app. If you don't have the Odyssey app, what the heck are you doing? Download that app right now.
Download the app.
It's awesome. Tons of great shows, including ours and SportsX Radio and so many others here on KDAWN, plus from around the world. So make sure you do that. And, of course, we're also streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, X, and Facebook. And want to say hi to a couple people in the chat box. We've got Dirkzo. Hello to you, too.
Dirkzo.
It's good to see you. And
who names their kid Dirkzo?
That's the birth name?
He just said
Dirkzo,
hello. I don't know who he is.
Dirkzo rhymes with bozo.
Damn.
Gary Johnson, what happens if Brittany Brooks' boyfriend and you say something stupid? Does she put you in a headlock in front of your friends? I don't know, Gary. Just by the way you talk, you couldn't have a girlfriend like Brittany Brooks, so you don't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
Gary is KDAWN's super listener.
What's Ripple
he's
Man?
a super listener.
He is. He
super
actually
bozo with the question.
Damn. Sorry, Gary.
It's all good.
Gary, come to the show and buy our merch.
Yeah. Come down to the show, Gary.
Yeah, buy some autographed pictures of Danny Limelight.
And put it on your wall. When I show up to your house, like how Mark did, he just put the picture up just now.
Oh, man.
Just in case.
Well, let's take a look at some of the other things that happened at Full Gear last night. And I tell you what, I think we may have a source of controversy here. Are you ready?
Okay.
You ready, David Difference?
I stay ready.
So last night, we had a Texas death match.
Yes, sir. Did you see that?
Yes.
I mean, or clips at least. And
No, I watched it. I tuned in.
Okay,
I try to tune into AEW every chance I get. You know?
All right.
I tune into all wrestling.
There we go.
I like to see what's happening.
So Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page, of course, a heated rivalry.
A great build up.
Absolutely.
In my opinion.
You know, Swerve going into Hangman's house. And, of course, he's got a little kid. I'm sure, Danny, you wouldn't be happy if someone broke into your house and was messing around in your daughter's bedroom like that.
No way.
No
way.
You would play to kill. Well, Hangman did play to kill last night. We had 1 minute in, we had a buckshot lariat followed by a staple gun. Seriously. And it's not the first time a staple gun's been used in a wrestling match, by the way, but Hangman was stapling Swerve all over the place, stapling stuff to Swerve. Swerve was busted wide open within a couple minutes into the match. And this thing just got crazy. Barbed wire wrapped around everybody, thrown into boards with barbed wire, cinder blocks, just chains, which is kind of what ended the match. We had a shattered cinder block to Hangman Adam Page's back, followed by Swerve hanging him or choking him out with a chain and kind of hanging him. It was bad. Rough match.
Yeah. They gotta cast Hangman in the next Twilight movie the way he was drinking that blood.
Yeah, that was that.
I hope there was some tests done before this.
Yeah, like what the hell?
You know, and one thing that people might, if you weren't there, you wouldn't have seen. But Dave, and I don't know if you noticed this or not, but up on the stage where they have the two monitors, and one said full and one said gear, they weren't showing any of the matches in the forum until that match.
Yeah, and bits of
they turned those on. They put the TV feed on right around when that match started, and there was a spot where Swerve was bleeding so badly, and this is going to be graphic for everybody, just so you know.
Kids, hold on. Caution, kids.
Yeah.
You may want to go back to bed. It's Sunday, right?
Where Swerve put his head down, and Hangman put his head below his, and the blood was dripping off Swerve, and Hangman had his mouth open, and the blood was dripping into his mouth.
Yeah, hard pass for me.
What do you say? Taking my chances on hepatitis? Like, come on, man.
That was not on my 2023 bingo card.
Yeah.
No. So here's the thing. Now,
Hangman been watching too much Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. So a lot of people were saying, this is, and Tony was saying in the press conference, this best Texas death match ever.
Amen.
Okay. And in terms of the intensity and, some of the things that happened in there, I mean, look, if someone invaded my kid's bedroom, I'd probably want to tear them to shreds too. But
I wouldn't drink their blood.
No. And here's my question to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Did this go too far? We had another Texas death match before with Paige and Mox that kind of got a little out of hand, but this was just a whole new level. And I'm just wondering, for example, if we were sitting with our kids watching this pay-per-view and this match started rolling, what would you think? And I mean, like I said, I in a way I love the match because of the intensity, but I just felt like it may have gone over the line. What do you think, David?
So nowadays I don't watch it like as a like through a kid's lens. I watch it as an adult. So yeah, for a kid, now that you bring that up, that's a little wild. That's a little much because there are kids there and they're enjoying the show wrestling. That was way too much. It was disgusting. I don't know how you even work that out. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. Is that spot just spur of the moment?
Danny, give us some
First of all,
insight.
I think that if you look at the whole feud of how it was built up, the promos, the work that's been going on between Swerve, who's doing phenomenal work right now, shout out to Swerve, and Hangman is bringing it as well. I think the match had to be crazy. I think it had to go this way. It's no different than a kid watching a rated R movie if you think about it, right?
Yeah, true.
Like if I remember being a kid turning on TV at night and watching Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees. Like it just depends on what you're bringing out there for your kids to see. I've never seen that done before in wrestling. It was the first. I mean, it got us talking about it, so I think it went where it was supposed to go. They wanted people to talk about the match. Gruesome, yeah, a little too much, maybe. I have kids, I would if my daughter was there watching with me, she probably would have gave me a look like, Dad, you better not do that, and I'd be like, I don't plan to, but I like the match.
Yeah.
I really did. I Swerve came out on top. I think that's good for business, and I think he should be the first Black AEW World Champ.
Amen. Yeah, I thought it was the match of the night. Dope. Definitely took the energy to another level and really drew me into the show. Have you ever taken barbed wire?
Nope.
No.
I like my body and my face too much.
Yeah, that's just I don't know. That seems insane to me. Some of that stuff, but
I don't do the death match type stuff, man. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had the backdrop onto the that cinder block. That couldn't have. Oh God, that must have hurt so bad.
Well, I was thinking yesterday, obviously we have, wrestling has evolved, right? So are you familiar with Cauliflower Alley Club? So it's the nonprofit for, older wrestlers that have, been injured, and they raise funds to help them out, like Kamala and everybody, that kind of go through it. And we're a part of that, and they do their reunion every year here. But that's the thing is a lot of wrestlers, they don't have health care, so they raise funds to help them out. As wrestling's evolved, y'all is doing a lot more crazy stuff. And just imagine 60, 70-year-old, what that body's going to look like. You had
80-year-old Ric Flair out there yesterday taking
Yeah. Well, do you think that, it's getting too extreme? Because people are not thinking, when I turn 50, am I going to be able to walk right? You look at Hogan, just from dropping a leg, he's like, I wish I never did the leg drop.
I never understood that with Hulk Hogan. He talked about 22-inch pythons. Why wasn't his finisher just a sleeper hold?
Right. He had said that too. It's like, that would have made sense. But he's thinking in hindsight.
Right. But you're right, though. I do feel like, look, when I started wrestling, I wanted to do all the moves. I wanted to go crazy. I wanted to get seen. I wanted to get noticed. I wanted to get signed, be on TV. And there was always those older wrestlers, those veterans. Oh, you're doing too much. Don't do this to your body. Save yourself. Save your bumps. Everybody has a bump card. And when you're younger doing it, you look at them and you're like, hey, you just mad you can't do it no more.
Right.
Now I don't wrestle the way I used to wrestle when I first started because now I'm starting to feel it on my knee, my back. It takes a toll on your body. You look at guys like Darby Allin. I don't know how he still walks.
I don't either.
That's what when I watched.
He took a hell of a bump last night.
I don't know how he does it. He's literally a crash dummy. Not in the sense of I'm insulting him. He throws his body through like some of the stuff that he does. My man, you should be in Hollywood right now doing them falls on as a stunt man.
Right.
He's gonna feel it. He has to. There's no way he could wake up and not feel the stuff that he puts his body through. You talk about the cinder block stuff that happened yesterday. I'm sure they're feeling it today. I'm positive they're feeling it. But then it's one of those things. You're at a pay-per-view. This is your moment. This is your time. It's a huge roster at AEW. Everybody's fighting for a spot on TV. In any wrestling federation, any wrestling company, you're fighting for a spot to be seen. So you kind of want to stand out and get the people talking. And what we've been talking about since we came back from break is the Hangman Page match.
Yeah.
So I guess they did what they were supposed to do because even though they're going to be sore and feeling it, they're doing it for the love of the game. Michael Jordan dropped 60 with a flu. Nobody told him he was crazy. Right. It's Michael Jordan.
Well, he getting hit with cinder blocks.
I'm just saying that sometimes for the love of the game, for that championship, for that spot to be called the one, the GOAT, whatever, we do stupid things. But then also it's a death match. So I mean, the point is to kill each other, I guess, right?
And I think it's that live in the moment because you're not thinking 10 years from now how that's going to catch up.
You're going to be
with
alive 10 years from now.
And that's what I worry about. It's like Darby Allin, when I was watching him, was like, what's he going to be like at 40? Like, when you go to Cauliflower Alley Club, you see a lot of these guys with canes and hunched over and, multiple surgeries. B. Brian Blair from Killer B just had a back surgery.
Massive back surgery.
Years later. Multiple back surgeries. And I just, everybody here's what I want to say. Let's just be kind. Everybody be safe out there. Stop the violence.
Look, you're living in the moment. And if there's gonna be a place to do it might as well be at AEW full gear in front of a sold out crowd or however many people were there. Vice the people that are doing that kind of stuff in a boys and girls club in front of 20 people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I guess it's pick your spot, pick your moment, pick your time. I thought that they went crazy. I thought they went balls to the wall. But I thought it was a good match. It was entertaining. I also agree it was my match of the night as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like they were doing it in front of 20 people, 30 people. I guess it made sense for them.
Well, and that brings up. By the way, of course, this is the Mark Hoke Show. We got co-host David Difference in with Danny Limelight, champ. Wrestling Network world champion.
World champion, right here.
Beautiful belt.
See that belt, man?
Belt.
May I
Beautiful
hold that?
belt.
No, you
got to earn that.
Hold on, I'm not asking you, Mark.
Well, I'm with Danny on that.
You know what? I don't like being on the same team as Mark here, Dave.
All right. Belt has been passed. But Danny, you bring up a good point. Is you're caught in a spot between you're trying to get noticed,
right?
So the easiest way to do it is to do something crazy, get it on video, and get it out there.
Oh, yeah, be a GIF wrestler. Isn't that what everybody wants to be these days?
Yeah, I think so.
So
how do you say it? GIF? What is it?
Either or. I guess
either or is good. But but obviously there's a price to pay for doing that kind of stuff. So how do you balance that? I mean, you do it through your promos and some great wrestling.
Right.
But just in general, how do you what's the right way to handle that?
I don't have. I honestly, there's no right or wrong to wrestling. There's no right or wrong rule book or way it should be done. When I first started wrestling, I was trying to do all the crazy spots and be seen for all the crazy stuff and jumping off this and springing off that. And then I realized that me doing this little dance right here that I do gets a lot of reaction than me doing all the crazy stuff with my body. I kind of figured out, okay, who are the greatest wrestlers right now? Who make the most money in wrestling? Okay, the guy that does this.
Yeah.
Doing John Cena.
They call him the 5-move guy, but he does this, and everybody loves him. He's the GOAT now, right? That's what they're calling him. Or Roman Reigns, the guy that does this, he puts the one up. And I'm like, this little dance I do, that's my you can't see me. You know, that's my Randy Orton pose. Like, it's my taunt that gets the reaction. And then the promo work. I always believe The Rock became a superstar because his promo work. He was able to talk his way out of the Nation of Domination, out of the Rocky Maivia stuff, and go on to be the great one, you know, the Brahma Bull, the pie-eating, jabroni-beating people's champ, you know? Like, that kind of stuff. You know, even Eddie Guerrero, he was a phenomenal wrestler, but then he even figured out how to captivate the crowd through promos and speaking through his heart, and even his little dance and the like, cheating and stealing all the way to the top. Like, for me, that's the way I want to go. I don't want to get hit with light tubes. I don't want to. I've never bled in a match in my life. I mean, obviously, I had my head split open, by hitting something and it split open accidentally. But putting my stuff through certain things, like I refuse to do it. Like I refuse to do it. I give you an example. I was at AAA last month, and they wanted to do a glass spot, and I was like, nope. Not me. My partner Slice Boogie did it, and his whole back was cut up afterwards. He went through glass. Juicy Finale chokeslammed him through glass. And then here's the crazy part. It wasn't even the finish to the match. Then he wanted to drag Slice across the glass so he could do a moonsault off the top, on top of Slice, on top of the glass. So you want to do that to me? No way.
Yeah. That's insane. And people just think that, like, okay, the match is over, life goes on. But you guys live with them injuries and going on from there. And we talk about those injuries. But also I think – Mark, you would attest that there's a lot of new therapy, you know, cryotherapy, stem cell, like yoga that they probably weren't doing back in the days as well that, you know, could help. But some of that stuff's just ridiculous.
I mean, I don't know what yoga you go to, Dave, but yoga's not going to fix, you know.
DDP. No, didn't he fix Daniel? Who did he fix?
I don't know.
He brought everybody back from the dead.
He brought everybody back from the dead, I guess. DDP yoga. That's the only yoga that works, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, Mark, like the stuff that Darby Allin and these people do to their body, like it's gonna catch up to them. And it's their life, you know. I guess they can make as much money as they can now and retire at 40. And hopefully they're doing the right things with their money and, you know, and not having to wrestle at 70 or 60 or 50, you know. I mean, because you look at somebody like Chris Jericho, who I think is one of the greatest of all times, you know. He has evolved. I heard you guys talking to Brittany earlier about how to evolve your character, how to stay, you know, current, how to keep up. You know, you talked about Julia Hart transitioning from the cheerleader to the witch. Jericho has transitioned from different things, I don't know how many times in his career to stay relevant. And even sometimes he kind of pushes himself to a position where he has to take a crazy bump here and there, but he's not getting hit with cinder blocks and things like that. Like, he understands the game, you know? And I guess that's what it's for. It's for the love of the game. It's you pick and choose your battles.
Just bicycles on Wednesday night on Dynamite.
Oh, yeah. The bike trip there. But I think it's important when we talk about Cauliflower Alley Club, we're trying to get the younger generation involved definitely this year. So we'll talk about that, but I'd love to get you on board with that and spread the word.
Do I need cauliflower ears?
Nah. Not necessarily.
No.
I used to want those so bad.
Yeah?
What?
I don't know. It just looked cool as fuck.
There to dump them again. I like it. Yeah. He told you. Mike on safety off, man. You got to have that finger ready.
It's all good. We got it.
Sorry about that.
Danny Limelight, everybody.
Yeah.
Mark's kicking me out the show now. I gotta go. That's my 2 strikes. I'm gonna take a walk on that.
Oh my God. Oh, well, I guess that means I get to hold the belt for a while.
Okay, Mark, you go. The belt.
I think that's fair. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna kind of wrap up everything on Full Gear. And you know, it's funny, we're talking characters because Gunther threw a Hall of Famer under the bus this week. A lot, like a fleet of buses. And I want to get your thoughts on that, guys. So let's come back to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. David Difference and the wild one, Danny Limelight.
Trouble, man. Trouble.
He is. We'll be right back.
Trouble, man.
101.5 FM, KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we return to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas.
Yes, sir. Yes, Danny. Hey, real quick, I just want to say, what's the difference? Danny Limelight episode up on the David Difference YouTube channel.
Check it out now.
In depth. It's not a wrestling interview. Well, I mean, we talk about wrestling, but the man behind the man, we go deep in that one. And
yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, Danny's led a very interesting life.
Yes, man. Find out.
I can't wait to write my book, From Street Lights to Limelight.
Yeah.
I mean, all sorts of stuff.
I want to pre-order that today. Yeah. You got the link up?
Not yet.
Okay.
I got the OnlyFans link, though.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I forgot you do that.
Do you have an OnlyFans?
I don't have an OnlyFans.
Mark has the OnlyFans.
Oh, Mark has an OnlyFans?
Yeah.
What are you, sniffing socks on live camera?
That is not confirmed or denied. I'm just going to let everybody try and look it up and see what happens.
Yeah, please don't.
That would be
interesting. This is Mark Hoke with championship belts laying on a bed like
Shawn Michaels. Yeah,
and Playgirl.
Shawn Playgirl.
Yeah, that's what we need. That's what
take
the
one of
world
those
needs.
Pictures, actually.
There you go. You got an OnlyFans, or is that a joke? What's happening here?
I don't even know anymore.
We don't know what's happening. All right.
I saw Jay Vidal has an OnlyFans.
I bet
by the
you
way.
are subscribed,
he does.
and I bet Mark's subscribed to it. I'm just supporting them. Yeah, right. You're sick, Mark.
You're
sick, man.
I'll just
Are
say
you a
this.
feet guy, Mark?
Absolutely not. There's only one OnlyFans.
Toes.
There's only one OnlyFans that I would even consider, and that is Paige Van Zandt.
Oh, yeah, she's nice. Not Mandy. You're not a Mandy guy.
Well, Mandy kind of gets in on the action with Paige, apparently, so they do some shoots together. But yeah, Paige Van Zandt, she's anyway.
He's a feet guy.
Yeah, he's sick. He's a sicko, man.
Oh, never said that. One other thing I wanted to wrap up with on Full Gear, and then I want to get into this thing with Gunther. When the opening match last night, of course, was that 6-man match with Christian and Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus against Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland. Mm-hmm. And Ric Flair came out to ringside, too. And one thing that blew me away, you had the great start with Christian bringing the kids out because, of course, Nick Wayne's very young and, he's taking them under his wing and now he's calling it the patriarchy.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool start and everybody's just going crazy because, Christian's just pretending he's everybody's daddy now. And then all of a sudden you're taking that in and then Ric Flair's music hits. So Ric Flair comes out to follow that up. Mm-hmm. And then you had Sting's music hit with Sting, Darby, and Copeland kind of under this spotlight standing around in a little kind of semicircle. And then you hear Adam Copeland's music go off. Talk about just a run of memories. And that was one of the coolest openings I've ever seen to a match. Just because, man, it just took you through the years. I mean, that was really neat.
It was a time capsule right there, man.
It was. What did you like that, Dave?
I didn't. I mean, whatever. I was probably eating my popcorn, man. I didn't eat yesterday, so I was trying to get a meal in.
Day.
I was trying to get a meal in. But what was that Adam? What is that from?
Oh, because that's Roderick Strong calling for Adam Cole. Whenever he needs his friend.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay. I figured it had something. I didn't know if it was Adam Copeland or Adam, but they just kept yelling it, and I was like, all right, I didn't get it. But yeah, hell of an entrances. I teared up, man. It was so nostalgic, man.
It was really cool. Come on, you got to admit it.
Well, I mean, I'm always a Flair. I'm a Flair guy. Who ain't a Flair guy? Yeah. Were you big on Ric Flair?
I like Ric Flair. I watch a lot of Ric Flair, actually. A lot of Ric Flair promos. A lot of Ric Flair.
Yeah. Who would you say, well, maybe The Rock, but who is the best promo in the business since day one?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I like watching the Ric Flair promos. I watch a lot of Rock promos. I watch a lot of Macho Man promos. I watched a lot of Eddie Guerrero promos when he came back from Japan and when he got rehired with WWE. I watched a lot of his stuff. I felt like he was talking from his heart a lot in those promos. Today, I kind of, I watch, the MJFs.
Yeah.
The Roman Reigns stuff with Paul Heyman. Like I just love when people tell stories through words. You know, if you could capture my attention and make me sit down and watch and listen to you talk for 2+ minutes, and I'm tuned in, I'm locked in. I feel like you're good at what you do. I'm listening, you know. But yeah, the Ric Flairs, the Rocks, you know, the Eddie Guerreros,
and you can't forget Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes, baby. Me and Mark had a talk, real quick, because we had that talk yesterday about LA Knight.
He's awesome.
Do you think? I mean, and I'm watching. I'm like, I'm a huge fan when he was here at FSW. That's my guy. I'm a heel guy, but then like you're watching his promos and it's like catchphrase after catchphrase after catchphrase. Is that too much? Like he just keeps going back to the
I don't
catchphrases.
think so. I mean,
no?
I have mi gente. I call people bozos. I try to have my catchphrases because, you know, The Rock had the catchphrases. Stone Cold had the catchphrases. All the wrestlers that had the catchphrases were the wrestlers on top of the mountain, you know?
Yeah.
You know, Roman Reigns even has his catchphrase, acknowledge me, and everybody goes crazy, right?
But he usually says that once.
Yeah.
LA Knight is like, he does it about 6 times in one promo where I'm like, where else we going? And he's got some outdated references that I don't think people are catching up on.
Catching on.
Well,
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it with those catchphrases is that it summarizes your character.
Yeah, it's a branding promo.
So it gives you as a performer, you know, that one thing that everybody can latch on to. And then if people really like it, then you sell shirts too.
And that's what the man is selling all the shirts right now. So
yeah.
I like the catchphrases. I like his promo work. I feel like, yeah, I agree. Sometimes he says the whose game, it is a lot sometimes. But I mean, as long as the crowd is reacting and responding, I guess it doesn't matter. You know, he got him in his hand right now. You know, they're really behind him, cheering for him, rooting for him, want to see him win. I'm a LA Knight guy. I'm a Shawn Ricker guy from when he was at United when I first started. You know, so I'm happy to see him winning.
Yeah, no, he's dope. And like when he was here at FSW, and we always talk about it, it's just like you knew he was next level. Yeah. Like he had the mouthpiece, he had the look.
Even when he was Eli Drake.
Yeah, that was
TNA Impact.
yeah.
Now, it's funny you brought that up because this kind of segues into what I wanted to talk about because Gunther did an interview on WWE's show The Bump, and he was talking about the Ultimate Warrior, and here's what he said. Are you ready for this?
I want the cheese man.
The first part was, that's one of the real dark ages at one point. Look at that. So he's kind of throwing that under the bus. And then he said that he's neither a real athlete nor a professional wrestler. No, he's not. He's a showman. He's not an athlete, not a professional wrestler. He's a showman. So now everybody knows why I have to be the one to keep this title, the Intercontinental title, for the longest time in history, to wash its reputation clean and to set a new standard.
Hats off for that.
So basically said the Warrior was not good. He just, he was a showman, not a wrestler. And I read that, and I guess to a point for me, I was a Hogan guy, so I really wasn't excited about when the Warrior was coming up because you saw what was happening. You're like, oh God, no. But at the same time, I was never a big fan of his.
Me neither.
Because I just, the promos were kind of all over the place. I mean, it was a lot of rambling, and he'd come out, he'd shake the ropes, do his press slam and a splash and a couple power moves for the most part, and he was out of there. That was it.
He didn't get paid by the minute, Mark.
No, no, he did not. And of course, a lot of controversy with what he was doing with Vince McMahon and contracts and so on. But do you guys agree with that? And how do you feel about that when he's one of the most highly regarded professional wrestlers of all time. What do you think when you hear a comment like that about him?
Yeah. Well, I say, as far as pro wrestling, like you just said, that was pretty much his whole match. There's this move, shake the ropes, get out of there. I think that, when you talk about like bringing more to the table, nah, he didn't. That Self-Destruction of Ultimate Warrior DVD, that summed it up. I think they should have just left with that instead of trying to bring him back as some kind of classic. He was an icon, but
people loved him. My
dad was a huge Warrior fan.
When I was, I guess I would have been, 14 or 15-ish, somewhere in there. Man, people were doing the arm tassels and the rope shake and all that stuff. People loved that guy. And like I said, I guess, that comes from me watching a lot of NWA too when I was a kid. And I was like, I'd rather watch Flair and Steamboat or somebody like that.
Right. But if you looking at it now, when you say it that way and referring to what Gunther said, if he was a showman, that's what
But that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Like you don't want to. You love the Martin Scorsese movies, but Martin Scorsese movies aren't drawing $3 billion like an Avengers movie. Mm-hmm. Like there's different types of wrestling, and Gunther is a phenomenal wrestler. He's an all-around. He's the best wrestler to be bringing the prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship. I agree with him there. But Ultimate Warrior, I wasn't a fan of him, but he was a showman. He was entertaining. Like people loved. You said it yourself. People loved watching this guy because he was just a ball of energy who would shake the ropes, and he would come out with his hair all crazy and all these colorful things hanging from him, and just like bring this new feel to wrestling. But if you look at wrestling, how it's evolved, it's sports entertainment now, right? Like, let's be honest. Let's really be honest with what we're talking about here. It's not the old school 70s or 80s type of wrestling where guys are in black trunks and just doing the graps, guys are in colorful gear. They're trying to be larger-than-life characters. You have to have the showmanship with it so that you stay, you entertain and you stay relevant. That's why I bring up Chris Jericho again. He's somebody who's a showman. He's a sports entertainer. Those are the guys that stay around the business long enough. The good wrestlers sometimes, they hear one day, this guy's a great wrestler, and then they're gone. You don't really remember that. You remember the larger than life characters. At least I do.
Yeah, no, I think they made that whole WWF era. Like, I wouldn't have been a fan if it wasn't for the over the top, like, who's this guy, like different characters. And Ultimate Warrior played his role in that. I was a Hogan guy, I just wasn't a fan of the Warrior. But like, that's wrestling. That is 100% wrestling. All the characters, the gimmicks, the gobbledygooker. Like, that's what I love about this business, man. Like, entertain me.
The Repo Man.
Yeah, and just everything. Like, I bought into it. I used to, like, wonder, like, Kane, like, does he walk around with that mask on? Like, when he's at the grocery store? Like, is this real? But. That's
funny you brought up Repo Man. Barry Darsow. Of course, it was Crusher Khrushchev and Demolition. That guy. One of the most underrated performers ever. Really.
Legend.
Love the Repo Man.
You really?
You know who else is a big fan of the Repo Man? Tom Lawler.
Really?
We got to get him on the show sometime, by the way. That would be fun.
Love Tom.
Great I was just watching the first episode of Monday Night Raw where Repo Man repoed Macho Man's hat. Macho Man had to pay to get it back.
Oh, God,
man.
He
didn't make all his payments on it or something. Who knows?
Some
nice hat.
And some amazing memories as we
Macho Madness
talk pro wrestling here on the Mark Hoke Show. And we're going to take our last break. Let's get that out of the way and wrap up the show. Having a great time with Danny Limelight, who's going to be at FSW tonight. Silver Nugget, 5 p.m. And, of course, if you're not in the area, you can watch that on Fight Plus.
Fight Plus.
So check it out. We'll be back with more with David Difference, Danny Limelight. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. Be back more right after this.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And a whole cast of great characters here, too. David Difference.
Yes, sir. Oh, what a difference a Dave makes.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah.
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 A little more excitement, Mark. A little more excitement. Me and Mark almost died yesterday. I was like, Mark, you still alive driving home?
Yeah, we made it.
Oh, man, I conked out several times. I was like, if I was driving, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, I know. That's why I drove it the whole way.
Somewhere. Yeah.
That's me. I can't drive
it. I was like, hell no.
And, of course, we've got Danny Lyman here. He's the United Wrestling Network World Champion.
What's up, mi gente? I'm going to be the FSW Heavyweight Champion after tonight.
That's big, man. Lots of gold for this guy.
It's going to be hard getting through the airport.
It is.
Yeah.
TSA take their jobs too serious.
Well, I just wanted to touch on a couple little news stories before we got out of here today. And, we were just talking about this a little bit. But Hammerstone is apparently getting his release finally from MLW. A lot of drama on that one. And, just curious to see where Hammerstone ends up. What do you guys think? Is Hammerstone going to be a hot commodity here after he gets out of MLW? How you feeling about that, boys?
I think he's the guy. He's got options. I had heard before that WWE, they said he was too Triple H.
Yeah.
So they weren't interested, but you would know more, man.
I don't understand why that's a bad thing, being too Triple H. Like, isn't he a 13-time world champion or 14-time world champion, something like that? Hammerstone, man, look, regardless, our beef aside at FSW, Hammerstone is the guy. Your boy Hammer, he's built like a professional wrestler. He talks like a professional wrestler. He looks like a professional wrestler, and he wrestles like a professional wrestler. I think that coming out of his contract, being the longest reigning MLW World Heavyweight Champion, I think he's gonna have options. It's gonna be good to see where he goes.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Hammerstone is a guy we've seen a lot here in Las Vegas, and I'm excited for him to get a new phase of his career.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap him tonight, though.
Okay, we'll see how that works out for you.
Okay, what are you saying, Mark?
Yeah, you want to get in the ring, Mark?
Sure, let's go.
All right, I'm gonna call Joe DeFalco.
Book it.
I'll be number 30.
You number 30.
I'll be number 30.
Guarantees my victory. Wait, can you imagine though, Mark Hoke?
I can. I'm picturing it right now.
It needs to happen.
Yeah. He wouldn't make it down the ramp.
I got to get back in shape.
No. You just need to have the Mark Hoke opening show as your theme, and you just need to come down the. You have to enter the Rumble, Mark. Why don't you enter at number 2?
Number 2, and just get he wouldn't make it. He'd stumble down the ramp, fall,
Come
and then
on.
by the time he got up, the next person be going in the ring. Joe would be like, "Get this clown out of here." I can see it.
Actually, Damian Drake's number 2.
Is he?
I get to eliminate him first.
Oh man, I don't know.
So I'd get stuck between Danny Limelight and Damian Drake.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'll pass on that.
Sounds like one of your OnlyFans dreams, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
Put Chief in the ring. Thomas Glenn said, well, Thomas Glenn, you better be at the show tonight.
There he is. Yeah. Chief is coming. Chief, you coming to the show tonight? Tap in, man. You better be there.
Guess
you know Chief? Chief, OG, FSW family member. He'll be in the building tonight.
He'll be in the building?
Yeah.
Is he entering the Rumble? I got to eliminate him too?
If Mark's going to get in there, might as well. Yep. Chief
Thomas Glenn,
there.
you entering the Rumble, Thomas?
Yeah.
Anybody who enters the Rumble is getting eliminated by Daniel.
This is going to end up being like a 90-person Rumble.
Everybody just hopping
I'm going to have 90 eliminations, Mark.
Well, there was an interesting story about Kurt Angle, by the way, and we were talking about guys beating up their bodies.
Is he entering the Rumble?
I don't know, as long as he's not spending all this money on painkillers.
Oh, boy.
Did you see this? He was saying
new?
that Kurt Angle.
He's back on him?
No, he's not back on him, but he was saying
what he used to do.
At one point during his career, he was spending $7,000 a month on painkillers.
Yeah, that is an epidemic, pandemic. It's insane. It's a pandemic.
Wow,
that's an epidemic, man. I'm just saying, but the painkillers that's the thing is, it'll catch you. You think it's just gonna knock it out for a while, then it's then you keep upping the doses. My whole family was riddled with painkillers, and they weren't even athletes. It just became a thing. So
and that's what Kurt
pandemic.
That's what Kurt was saying here.
Just the fact that he has $7,000 to spend on painkillers, I'm impressed.
Yeah, but
a month.
But he was saying how his body built a tolerance to it, and eventually, get this, he said, I became an addict right away. 65 extra strength Vicodin a day.
Man, that's crazy.
He was taking 65 pills a day.
65 Vicodins a day.
Oh nah.
But I can guarantee you that's probably small time to some of these cats that I've heard about. Scott Hall's, what the hell's going on?
I don't know what you're doing. David Difference.
Now I want to get situated and professional.
But that's part of the road that you guys take, Danny, that trying to deal with the pain if you don't have insurance or anything like that. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, he's taken care of. He good. I like that drill sergeant, like your voice was good. Is that from just yelling all the time?
Yeah.
Oh, man, if you see the video where he's like,
sit up straight, look at me now.
I'm like, man, his voice is gone.
Promos like that.
Yeah.
Man, but speaking of Kurt Angle, that's insane. You know, I have a question for you, Mark.
Yeah.
Do you think that Kurt Angle would have been considered one of the GOATs if he never left WWE?
Yeah.
Do you think that? I mean, he did phenomenal work at TNA. I mean, but a lot of people didn't watch that stuff.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's hard. It was really surprising to see that he left. I mean, he was the perfect guy for him. You know, it was weird seeing him in TNA, but you know they're going to be back soon. By the way, they're coming here in January.
I know they should give me and Slice Boogie a call.
They should
bring that 5150.
I'll talk to Ross Foreman about that.
Oh, thank you, Mark.
Look at this guy.
Like Mark wants the invitation so bad to the after party tonight.
I don't know if I'm going to be conscious after yesterday, but that was a long day.
But here you are, early in the morning at the studio.
Do what you do.
Doing what it do.
That's right. We got a job to do.
It's a blessing, man.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio's out, torn meniscus. So he's going to be out a couple of months, so we do not get Rey Mysterio for a while.
Rey Mysterio.
Did saw him out here.
Did you see Powerhouse Hobbs slamming Paul White on Wednesday, the Big Show?
Yeah, that was
onto a car. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, shout out to Hobbs.
That's your guy.
Hobbs a real one. Yeah, I like Hobbs a lot, man. He always kept it real from when I met him at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood to when I first stepped foot at AEW. He ain't switch up on me, nothing. He's a good dude. He's killing it. And I mean, honestly, they need to put some gold on my man.
Yeah, he gets stopped and started a lot, it seems. You know, and it's kind of weird because, I mean, here's a guy who's just, I mean, what a incredible build, great athlete. You know, does good promos. I mean, he seems to have all the tools.
He's got, in my opinion, he does. I don't know. Show my man.
Well, I just think you got too many. What do you think? AEW got so many people.
Man.
Yeah. There's so much. How do you get your shine?
They have 158 active performers on the roster
and 100 like megastars. Like who's gonna, you know?
Yeah, you know when you got guys like Daniel Bryan, Edge. Oh, excuse me, Adam Copeland.
You can say it. It's okay.
Kenny Omegas, the Young Bucks, Jericho, Jay Whites, the Bullet Clubs. You know, and then on top of that, they bring all these other people that are not even part of the company to come be in the company to wrestle a match. Then it's like, okay, now this guy that you brought in from Japan or CMLL, who's not signed to AEW, is taking TV time or a spot from someone who is signed to AEW sitting at home. Like, what's up with my man Peter Avalon? Why he not on TV? You know, like, it's the same.
Rousey.
Yeah, it's the same. You got Rousey now. Who else you got? There's so many people.
Yeah, it's insane. Like
Samoa Joe, you know, Christian. Like,
I don't understand. Like, you get
the
lost.
Hardy Boys. Like, just going Hangman Page, Swerve.
Yeah, you get lost in it.
They have a phenomenal roster, but it's just not enough time for people to really shine there. Darby Allin, Sting. Mm-hmm. You know, they had CM Punk for a while. Like, it's just.
And then just, you know, Will Ospreay, you mentioned the name, but yeah, he just, of course, was their big signing.
Yeah.
So
that was coming. I had a feeling.
I thought it was going to be Ronda, but real quick, I want to get your take. You're a heat seeker, man. What's your take on CM Punk?
I'll wrestle CM Punk anywhere, anytime, any place, any day. Come to United Wrestling. If no one wants you CM Punk, come to United Wrestling Network. Come on.
Do you think he's going to pop up somewhere? Where you think he's popping up at?
Man, I a part of me wants to see him back at WWE. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
I want to see him back at WWE for some reason.
Dave
as long as he comes back with AJ Lee too.
Ah, yeah, she was dope. She looked way different now. You see her? She
yeah,
ripped.
Yeah.
I mean,
she was on that show Heels. You know.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she's on the show Heels.
The new season.
Yeah. My homegirl Jasmine Allure. Shout out to Jasmine. She's a star in the making too. She stunt doubled her.
Okay, yeah, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, that show got canceled.
It got canceled.
Did it?
I think it'll get picked up by Netflix or something like that. You
I'm sure.
It was a great show.
Was it? Yeah, I started the first episode and was like, maybe not now. I just wasn't in the zone. But
it definitely does give you a look inside of wrestling. So it's cool. I like it. I like the actors.
Yeah, and Stephen Amell is awesome. And you know, and he's been in the ring. I mean, obviously it was a WrestleMania and stuff, so you know, he knows what he's talking about a little bit. Danny, I'm sorry.
And then it has like, you know, CM Punk's on the show too, so they get the inside of wrestling there, and you know, I like the show, so I hope it gets picked back up.
There you go, Danny. Real quick, I want to give you a chance to tell everybody where you can. you can find them, or they can find you.
Mi gente, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Mark Hoke, Dave Difference, for having me on the Mark Hoke Show again. Am I the most appeared wrestler on this show? I need to know. Is that a thing?
You can be, man.
Is that the most appearances made by a professional wrestler?
You've been on with one way or another 3 times now, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, let's look at the
You're up
statistics.
there. I mean, you're up there.
Get him a
Look
belt.
at the leaderboards.
Get him a belt.
Another belt for here. But everybody tuned in, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, at Danny Limelight, ProWrestlingTees.com/ Danny Limelight. Mi gente, make sure you tune in tonight. If you're in Vegas, you better be at the FSW Luck of the Draw show. Come see me become FSW heavyweight champion. Yup. And if not, tune in on Fight TV Plus. Mark, thanks for having me. Dave, what a difference a Dave makes.
Yes, sir.
I'll see y'all soon, man.
Yeah, what a great show. And Danny, thanks for coming in, buddy. We appreciate it.
That's my guy right there.
One of my favorite pro wrestlers out there should be the WWE champ.
I should be.
Let's just do it. Take it.
You're still not invited to the after party, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, then you suck. Anyway.
Damn.
I'm kidding. It's all good. But thanks for being with us today. We really do appreciate it, Danny. And thanks to Brittany Brooks for coming in, too. Head out there at FSW tonight. It's going to be a great time. David, awesome show. Thank you.
I'm taking a couple months off. I got to get my life together. Thank you, everybody,
Thanks,
for participating.
guys. Hey, we will see you next time on The Mark Hoke Show. Follow us on X at Mark Hoke Show, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, markhokeshow.com. Subscribe on YouTube. We got it all. Just get involved, and thanks for being part of our family.
And
we
your
appreciate
OnlyFans.
it. Yeah, good luck
At
on
Mark
that.
Hoke like smelly feet.
See ya.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.